Hello, dear friends, learners, and students. It's Dr. Bhatt here. Today, we shall get into a typical idea about surface tension. How surface tension is helpful to us in our daily routine. We know that surface tension is a typical property of the liquid due to which there is a formation of elastic film at the top or the surface of the liquid. Now, this elastic film is such that it can hold certain lightweight articles. For example, if you place a piece of paper over the surface of a liquid, say water, we find it doesn't dip in, it doesn't sink, it floats over the surface. Not only this, if you place a little uh, carefully a lightweight needle over the top of this liquid, we find that it floats, it doesn't sink. And utilizing this property, we find that mosquitoes lay eggs at the surface of the liquid and it is safe. Over and above, we find that there are many insects are uh, which are known as water striders or water skaters. They walk over the surface of the liquid water, and if we carefully observe, we find that their long legs are so adjustable that they control their weight against the gravitational force. And of course, the legs have, I suppose, some waxy coating due to which they it makes convenient for them to move over or walk over the liquid water. And this way, this elastic membrane at the surface of the liquid helps us to help them to move or walk over the liquid. And there is another application, of course, a funny application, that when we use a soapy water is uh, capable of forming bubbles when air is blown through it through a soapy water. We find that continuously there is a formation of bubbles which float in the air one after the other, and we call them as floating bubbles. Floating bubbles. It is because of the long chain structure of the sodium salt of a fatty acid which is soap, and the the molecular structure of soap is such that one end of the carbon chain is hydrophilic in nature, prefers water, and the other end, which is known as the hydrocarbon end, is hydrophobic. These two ends surround the water which is blown by the air, and that protects the bubble for some time. Of course, it is because of the evaporation that the bubbles pop out. It doesn't stable, it stays longer. It's not stable. Then we know that drops are spherical in shape. There is formation of dew drop over soft surfaces, and this drop remains uh, undisturbed over even flower petals or leaves till they are not disturbed. Dewdrops are formed by condensation of the liquid, condensation of the moisture present in the air, whereas the raindrop is just formed by clouds, condensation of clouds. So there is a difference. And now, not only this, there are many other applications also, which are very useful to us in our daily life or even routine. For example, using hot water. Suppose we want to clean a surface, a cup, a saucer, or a plate, etc. Any hard surface. It can be easily cleaned by using hot water rather than cold water. When hot water is used, we find that the temperature of the water becomes more and the cohesive forces are reduced. Thereby, the adhesive forces become strong. And these adhesive forces help us to clean the surface by a light rubbing or just touching it. So, hot water is used for cleaning the surfaces very freely. Similarly, Dettol is used. Dettol, of course, it is an antiseptic. It spreads faster over a surface. Phenyl to clean the surfaces. This is also using the same principle because Dettol, phenyl, or whatever we mix here, they reduce the surface state. They reduce the cohesive forces because the cohesive forces of a liquid are lowered or reduced by adding soluble impurities or even insoluble impurities. And it is because of this that the adhesive forces become stronger and they are utilized for our desired purposes. Toothpaste. When we use toothpaste, what happens? That the cohesive forces of the water becomes lesser, and it is because of the adhesive forces that it spreads uniformly all around the mouth. Soaps with water, use of Dettol, these are some of the typical applications of uh, surface tension of water. And this is how I tried to explain you. Now there are a number of sites relating to it. You may go through it and preserve it for subsequent studies if need be. Okay, look here. There is a slide which explains about the pond skaters or water striders. They move over the surface freely at the top of the surface. Isn't it? And the reason is explained here. Formation of bubbles. The floating bubbles are formed here, and it is like this. The air is introduced in a soapy water, you get floating bubbles this way, and the structure of the soap is such that there is a hydrophobic end, there is a hydrophilic end. I've already explained this, and of course, the details about it we shall discuss somewhere in the other topic. Then the dewdrops are formed simply by condensation of moisture present in the air, and they settle freely over the flower petals or on the leaves also. Indeed. This is how the dewdrops are formed. So all the details here are there provided in these slides. You may try to preserve it and it would be helpful to you for subsequent learning in other topics also. Okay, we stop here. Thank you. And we shall be back again with some other topic after some time. Thank you.